My name is Christy, and I really like books, and I have lots of thoughts and opinions on books, and I want to talk about them. So buckle up, because today we are talking about Bride by Ali Hazelwood. So I looked up a summary of this book, and the quick little synopsis: a dangerous alliance between a vampire bride and an alpha werewolf become a love deep enough to sink your teeth into in this new paranormal romance. That's right, folks. We're talking about
I know what you are.
Say it.
vampires. Again,
Vampire.
just be aware before you watch this video that I will be revealing more or less the whole plot of this book.
Homecoming 2 and 3 or Avengers
Yeah,
3?
there'll be Spider-Man 2 and 3. It won't be Homecoming 2 and
That's
3. Yeah.
almost a scoop because we knew about the second one but not the third one.
Yeah, well now you know.
So if you don't want spoilers, then this isn't the video for you. In most romanticities that I've read, we are in a very different magical world.
What? No.
Well, basically, we're in Middle Ages England with magic and dragons. This book, however, we are very much in modern day America. Everything is the same. There's just werewolves and vampires. But everyone knows about the werewolves and vampires. It's not a secret. It's not like, oh, we have to remain hidden. We have vampires over here, werewolves over here, humans over here, and they have a very tension-filled truce.
Sound good? All right. Okay. All right.
One of the ways that peace is ensured between the humans and the vampires is they have a collateral program where a child of someone high up in the vampire government is sent to go live with the humans, and the child of someone high up in the human government is sent to go live with the vampires.
These kids are from completely different worlds.
Literally.
For years and years and years, they grow up in each other's culture. And the reason they do that is because if the vampires were to attack the humans, this vampire child would be killed on the spot and vice versa. So it's a way to ensure peace and act as a deterrent. It's a collateral. So our main character is that vampire collateral. She's the vampire that grew up in the human world to deter the vampires from attacking humans. However, the humans were kind of afraid of her because she's a vampire. Therefore, she was kind of kept away from everyone else. They gave her what she needed. They made sure she had blood, but there was not a lot of interactions. She didn't grow up as like a normal human child. She was kind of kept away. At one point in her childhood, they do find a human orphan that no one has any connections to.
It all began on the day of my actual birth. Both of my parents failed to show up.
Named Serena, and the two of them become best friends. Growing up, Serena knows that she's a vampire, and it's all fine. They grow up together, they're best friends, they love each other, they're basically sisters. Oh, and this is really, really, really important. Most people would be kind of bitter about having to grow up and closeted away, cloistered away. But our main character isn't, because, and she repeats this to us over and over and over again.
Over and over again.
And as the reader, this is hammered home. This is part of vampire culture. Vampires are all about putting the needs of many vampires over the one. So this is just expected of her. Any vampire would do this. She's not special. And she tells us this over and over and over again.
Over and over again.
The problem is she grows up and tries to move back to the vampire society because it needs to be a child to serve as collateral. And now that she's an adult, she can't be that collateral. Moves back to vampire society, and no one else has told the rest of the vampires that this is part of their culture. Everyone treats her as this outcast and distance themselves from her as much as possible because they're like, you grew up in the human world, you're a second-class citizen. And I'm like, in a society that's all about sacrifice, wouldn't they honor the fact that she sacrificed for them if that was the expectation instead of alienating her? I have questions. Oh, on top of that, because to be like collateral, you need to be related to someone high up in authority. She is the daughter of the highest ranking politician in vampire politics, essentially.
I may have eaten a few people, but I am not a crook.
So she sacrificed her entire childhood for vampire race. Also, she's incredibly important because of who her dad is. And all the vampires want nothing to do with her. Nothing. My theory is that her dad lied to her about this being part of vampire culture, and her dad just hates her because he has it out for her. And we'll get into that more later. But one of my biggest pieces of evidence is on why I think her dad hates her is her name. Our main character is named Misery, which is kind of just a wild name. But as I was reading, I was thinking, maybe like that's like part of the lore of this world. Vampires have weird, sad names.
Nope.
Everyone, including other vampires, have just the most normal names. Her dad, who is supposed to represent all things vampire, his name is Henry, which I cannot think of a more boring name. And then on top of that, we have Owen. So her dad's name is Henry, and then she has a brother named Owen, which is also another super normal name. So her name Misery makes no sense. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? It's the first day of school, and your teacher is reading off the names. She goes, is Jenny here? Okay, Jenny's here. Johnny? Oh, we have a Johnny. What about Torture? Do we have a Torture?
Jay Quellen.
Anyways, so her name is Misery. Just the weirdest name in a sea of totally normal names. Maybe her dad told her that was part of vampire culture as well. All second-born vampires have horrible names. It's part of our culture. Don't worry that no one else does it. It's part of our culture. So anyways, she's trying to live with the vampires. It's going poorly. So she decides to go back to live with the humans and her best friend Serena. She files her teeth down to try to pass as a human. She knows she doesn't fit in with the humans, but it's better for her because she's not supposed to fit in. She knows she's different, so it is easier for her. So she's been doing that for years. It's fine. Things are going fine. And then she gets a call from her dad, Henry. Weird named Henry. Turns out there's a lot of political upheaval happening between the humans and the werewolves and the vampire. All of this is set in motion because the local werewolf tribe, pack, whatever, got a new alpha. And this new alpha is doing a lot of upheaval. Leaving the vampires overall in a pretty bad political position power-wise. As I was reading the book, it becomes painfully clear that the vampires are one of the weakest species out of the three. Mainly because they have a problem with reproducing. So the reason the vampires have been able to stick around for so long is because of Henry's political savvy. Henry's a little worried about the vampires' futures in the grand scheme of things when this new werewolf essentially sends an olive branch. He proposes, similar to the Collateral program with humans and vampires, they do something like that with the werewolves and humans. This is so good. Oh, it's so good. He says he's going to send one of his close family members to live with the vampires for a year to try to cause peace and bring understanding. What he's going to do is marry a vampire who's high up in the vampire hierarchy.
Which I learned is not a fair trait.
The vampires don't have to marry a werewolf. He's like, no. A werewolf will just hang out, but I'm going to marry someone. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. It's cool. It's not weird. It's not weird. It's not weird. So Henry calls Misery back from the human world, and he's like, guess what? You're going to go get married to this new alpha. Woo! And Misery is not about it. She says, you sacrificed my entire childhood for the good of the vampires. I'm not gonna get married. And she's sticking to that until Henry mentions this new alpha's name and his initials. And at this point in time, it's revealed that Misery's best friend Serena has been missing for a few weeks. And the last clue Misery has to try to find Serena is she's a journalist and she was going to go meet with someone with a certain set of initials and last name, and it matches the new alpha's initials and last name. So she agrees to marry this new alpha and hopes to find more clues about her missing best friend, not really because she's interested in sacrificing for the greater good. That didn't go great. This is actually where our book starts. It starts with their wedding, the day where Misery meets Lo, the new alpha, totally normal name, and the two get married. Once they're married, Misery moves in with the werewolves at like their headquarter base. She meets a whole cast of characters, some lovable, some not. Comedy ensues, but the only one you really need to know about is Anna, Lo's 7-year-old sister that he's taking care of. There's a little bit of relationship growth between Lo and Misery. Turns out both of them great people. Great banter, just top notch, wonderful, adorable writing, humor through the roof. Multiple times I stopped the book because I was laughing out loud and I was reading parts of it to my husband because I found it just so funny. Anna and Misery also bond. They have a cute relationship, very big sister, little sister energy.
You have to put a please in there. Please, can I have the way? No, you may not.
Misery keeps saying she hates kids, and Anna keeps refusing to acknowledge that. It's very fun. One day while Misery is there, she's in her room looking out the window. It's the middle of the day. Vampires can go out into the sun in this world, but it burns them. Not instant, your ash, but more like, you know, you're going to get severe sunburn really fast and then your skin is going to start burning. And all the werewolves are having a picnic as she's watching, and she notices that someone is trying to kidnap Anna. So she rushes outside to try to stop it, and she does, which is great. But it turns out Lo knew this was already going to happen and had it set up as a trap because there's a group of werewolves who don't like how Lo is running the pack, and they want it to go back to the way things were under the old alpha, who Lo has killed. So that's not an option anymore. However, they still want it to be run that same way. And that group of werewolves are like secret, and it's kind of like a sub-secret section of werewolves, and they call themselves the Loyalists. And Lo was gonna use Anna as bait to try to catch some Loyalists and learn some things about what they're wanting and what they're seeking. Unfortunately, when Misery interferes, it causes that plan to fail. Once Lo explains everything to Misery, she feels horrible about it. And Lo is frustrated, but he can't be like super pissed off because she got pretty severely burned running out to try to save Anna. At this point, Misery and Lo kind of have a moment where they just tell each other everything straight out. Lo mentions these groups of loyalists and are explaining things to Misery, and he explains that the old alpha had a mate named Emery, and Emery is still kind of pulling the strings, and he wants to figure out what is going on there and stop that. And during this time, Misery decides to tell Lo about Serena and how she was going to meet with someone with Lo's initials. She came here trying to find more information about that. And Lo goes, oh, I actually don't think she was meeting with me. I think she was trying to learn more about my sister. Misery's like, that doesn't make any sense. The initials are L. Anna starts with A, and he goes, oh, my sister's real name is Liliana. And this is really concerning to Lo because Anna is a half werewolf. They share the same mom who was a werewolf, but Anna's father is a human. And they have no idea who Anna's father is. They've never encountered a half human, half werewolf offspring before. They didn't know that was a thing. They don't know really anything about it other than the fact that Anna hasn't been able to turn into a wolf, you know, like a werewolf. And she's 7, and all werewolves have been able to turn by 7. So they have no idea if Anna ever will be able to. And also with Serena being a journalist, he's worried that like this information got leaked, and that's what she's trying to figure out. Now that everything is out in the open, the two really do start developing a relationship. It's very cute, it's very sweet. They get to know each other more. And during this time period, Misery finds out that Lo has a mate already, and it's Gabby. And Gabby is the werewolf sent to go live with the vampires. So that's where she's at. And Misery finds out that mates are very much like a stereotypical werewolf. They are my soulmate, they are my person, they are my one. However, through this, Lo makes it very clear that Gabby does not have the same feelings back. A mate is kind of a supernatural experience where you're just inexplicably drawn to them, and Gabby does not feel the same way back. As Misery and Lo are looking for more information on Serena and also Anna, it leads them to the Loyalists. It's clear that they're somehow involved in Serena going missing and stuff with Anna's dad, because they've been trying to find who Anna's dad is, and they cannot. Lo has the idea that they could set up like a pretend meeting to talk about like peaceful political stuff.
I don't use air quotes correctly, all right?
And this would give them access to the Loyalist main's base, and they can snoop for information there. They set up a meeting in the name of peace with Emery and the rest of the Loyalists to find out more information about them, which leads to my favorite scene in the whole book, because it's just so dumb.
Really dumb, for real.
So they have to fly there, and Lo gets a private plane, and he's the pilot and Misery's the passenger, so it's just the two of them on this plane. And they land on the tarmac, and there's all these like SUVs and cars full of really important werewolves waiting for them. And before they open the plane and go do, important political stuff, Lo goes, oh, real quick, I have to claim you so they'll take our marriage seriously. Even though we know it's kind of a scam marriage, wink, wink, we need to make sure they don't know that. So I'm going to have to lick you. Ow. And Misery has no idea what this means, and she's just kind of goes, okay, which I love. Way to just be down. Way to just go with it. Lo starts marking her. It's not like a simple, like, one lick, which would already be weird enough. It's like an all over, basically tongue bath. And it's very emotionally charged and also physically charged. They both have a strong physical reaction to it, and it takes a while. And this is my favorite scene because of the ridiculousness of it. You have all these super important werewolves who you need to make peace with, or at least you're pretending you need to make peace with, waiting for you, and you go, wait, one quick moment. I just need to have this very, very spicy, time-filled moment with my wife. I love it. It's so ridiculous, and no one questions it. When they come off the plane, they're like, oh, he marked her. That's interesting because she's a vampire. But no one questions the fact that everyone had to wait while they just had this moment. So once they get to the Loyalist base, they have a couple meetings, but basically they're sneaking around looking for information. One time they almost get caught, and they're in this room that they're not supposed to be in, and they know the bad werewolves are coming, and Lo tells Misery to bite him and feed off him because the rest of the werewolves will find this whole thing so disgusting and not question why they were in this room. Bad werewolves will find this so disgusting and off-putting, they'll be more focused on that than the fact that they're in this room that they're not supposed to be in. Misery has never fed off a live person. She's only ever had blood bags, which is kind of gross, but whatever. And so she agrees. And this is, again, another deeply emotionally and physically charged scene. Lo was right. They don't question it. They're like, oh, this is gross. Maybe get out of this room, but also stop doing that.
Ew.
But we're going to question it because they're only with the Loyalists for like 2 days. And during these really super important peace talks, the Alpha goes off to have different versions of spicy time twice. And it's not like a secret. It's not like, oh, hush, we didn't get caught. Everyone knows about it. I love it. Oh, so great. Moving on, they find the information they need. And they go back home, and Misery wants to talk to her brother about her very strong physical reaction to feeding on Lo. So Lo arranges a meeting between her brother Owen, herself, Lo's there, and then Gabby. And during that meeting, it becomes incredibly clear to Misery that Gabby is not Lo's mate. Lo is not at all interested in her. She just managed to misinterpret some things. She also finds out that Owen is furious at her dad for making her do this again, and this is the straw that breaks the camel's back, and Owen's like, I'm going to try to overthrow our father. He sucks. We gotta get rid of him. And Misery has no idea how he's going to do that, but she's not against the idea. So once that meeting is over, Lo and Misery go to talk about it, about what they learned. And Lo says the only person who could serve as collateral to Lo is Anna. And he couldn't let her take her 7-year-old sister, so he lied. And he said Gabby was his mate, but she's not his mate. And at this time, Misery starts thinking that maybe she's his mate.
Is it me? Am I the drama?
But she doesn't want to say that. Instead, they just get very physical. Very physical. Very, very physical. Once that's done, things get stupid. Not like haha silly stupid, just straight stupid. It's only stupid for like a little bit, but it is so dumb. This book is so fun, and then it just gets so dumb for like 20 pages. So dumb. So after they have their fun time, Misery asks Lo, like, am I your mate? And Lo, who's been this super kind, sweet, wonderful guy who doesn't pressure her at all, is always making sure Misery's comfortable with everything, suddenly goes, no, I don't like you. I'm gonna leave, and I'll send someone else to pick you up. Bye. And she believes him. So, whatever. So Lo leaves. Misery gets picked up to be brought back to the werewolf base. However, she gets drugged, she gets kidnapped, and when she wakes up, she's in a cell with Serena, her missing BFF. They bond, they catch up really quickly, and soon they stage a breakout. And they succeed, however, they get captured again and brought to their captor, who is none other than Misery's dad, Henry. Told you, dad's a piece of work. Henry says he's doing what's best for vampire kind because he's known that half humans, half werewolves has existed, and he knows that if the rest of the world found out that this could happen, humans and werewolves would team up and overpower vampires. He kidnapped Serena because he knows that Serena is also a half human, half werewolf hybrid, and Serena just figured this out like a week before she got kidnapped. And so she was trying to find information about Anna because Anna's also half human, half werewolf, and maybe the two of them can talk about it. But Henry figured all that out and kidnapped Serena to make sure the rest of the world never finds out that half humans, half werewolves exist. And he's been trying to kidnap Anna as well. He just has not been successful. However, he says now that Lo has a new weakness, being Misery, he can use Misery to get to Anna. At this point, Lo is brought in, and it looks like he's captured by Owen, but he isn't. They're trying to trick Henry into it, and so once he's brought in, the four of them are able to overpower Henry. So it's Lo, Owen, Misery, and then Serena, who recently just figured out she can turn into a werewolf whenever she wants. So between the four of them, they're able to overpower Henry. Once Henry's taken care of, Lo tells Misery that she is in fact his mate and that he loves her, and then the two of them love each other, and they're gonna go be together forever and ever. And so they go back to live with the werewolves, and Misery feels like she has a home and is accepted for the first time in her life, and it's super cute and adorable. I love this book. Whenever anyone asks me about this book, I describe this book as sugar. It's just sweet and easy and fun. I would give this book a 9 out of 10. The characters are fun. The plot is fast. The banter is great. The spicy scenes deliver. Really, really fun. I had a great time reading it. I think I read it in a day. This was Ali Hazelwood's first time ever attempting to write a romantasy. Normally she just sticks to modern romances, and I pretty much only read romantasies, but this book was so much fun. It definitely made me curious to check out her other stuff. I haven't read it yet, but the characters were so fun. I'm very curious about it. Goodreads has this as a 4.0 rating with almost 500,000 reviews, and only 1% of them are 1-star reviews, which I think is fair. Go check it out. Let me know what you think below. Let me know if you've read it. Let me know if you've read other Ali Hazelwood stuff, and if I should read other Ali Hazelwoods and what I should read of hers. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.